pigs eating people. Fantastic.
Sweet.
I watched my favorite Vincent Price, Roger Corman collaboration, Mask of the Red Death.
Awesome movie.
One of these days I'm still going to get that tattooed on my leg somewhere, sometime. I also watched the Corman Price Pit and the Pendulum and the Corman and Price Haunted Palace. That one's really good. It's Edgar Allan Poe and H.P. Lovecraft inspiration, so really cool. Creepshow. Watch Creepshow.
One of the best anthologies.
It is the best anthology. There's no, I mean, it's not one of it. It's just the best anthology.
You're right on that.
Everything about that movie is pretty much perfect. The Jordy Verrill segment has, like, kind of a lull to it, but it's still a lot of fun to see Stephen King.
Yeah.
And, like, an interesting, different segment, you know.
Something to break up the kind of like the style that the other movies are.
Yeah, it's sci-fi, and all the other ones are basically just like straight horror or whatever. And it has the quintessential evil thing coming from space, crashing down to Earth scene that every goddamn late 70s, 80s, all those have. So I watched Night of the Devils, which is an Italian adaptation of Leo Tolstoy's Der Verdelok, which Baba adapted in Black Sabbath.
Oh, okay.
It's the segment with Boris Karloff. Night of the Devils is awesome. It's like one of the best vampire films.
I can hear my wine pouring. Sorry about that.
How's the wine?
You said that earlier. What's that from again?
Clockwork Orange.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I watched Burial Ground, The Nights of Terror.
That was cool.
Oh, God, do I love that movie.
That was like $40 when I bought it.
I still have not seen that one either.
When DVDs first came out.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's just totally fucking nutso and sleazy and ridiculous. Lots of good gore. And I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 2.
Which I love Nightmare on Elm Street. Part 2, I need to revisit because I remember
Was it you that said Dream Child was better?
What?
No.
I thought Dream Child was the worst.
Oh, Dream Child's terrible.
Yeah, Dream Child is like horrible.
Someone said, someone commented on that.
I mean, New Nightmare is the worst.
Yeah.
But,
see, I like New Nightmare.
New Nightmare has some interesting theories and concepts, but the execution is dog shit.
Yeah,
but
Part 2,
I think someone said that their favorite was Dream Warriors on that thread that I made. Nobody mentioned Dream Child. Somebody said
you need a lighter, right?
You need a lighter. What are you talking about?
Oh, I thought you said, "Can I get a lighter?"
No.
Wow.
I broke.
Why would you do that?
Why would I do what?
Ask me if I need a lighter, and there's nothing in my hands.
Well, because you went for the lighter.
I thought you said you needed.
I wasn't.
A lighter.
No,
Yeah, it looked like you were asking for the lighter.
No,
God.
he asked me if I wanted a lighter.
We're
I guess.
leaving this in. You're not editing this out.
You said you want a lighter.
I didn't.
You did not say that at all.
Oh my god.
Then why were you inching? Whatever.
How high is this guy?
I thought you were.
But that's what I watched. What did you watch, hi guy?
Hi, guy.
I watched Rosemary. Scott, come on.
Hey, fuck you.
I watched Rosemary's Baby, and
Nice.
that's perfect. It's a perfect
I
film.
fucking love Rosemary's Baby. Every time I watch it, I like it more, and there's like more to notice. And
Just to see the view of an occult back in that era when it was.
people credit The Exorcist with, I mean, they call it the Satanic 70s, but Rosemary's Baby came out in what, 68?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's the movie that kickstarted that whole, all of it. Really.
Yeah.
I was just saying, like, the occult was more closer to its infancy,
Right.
and that was put
as
on
far
film.
as, yeah.
For that reaction from people back then would have been interesting to know.
Great performances all around.
I started watching Collar. I'm almost done.
Oh, the Ryan Nicholson movie?
Yes.
That movie's okay.
Oh, you saw it already?
Yeah.
I was thinking that maybe like I found something you didn't see by his.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
I'm almost done.
It's one of his newer movies.
2014.
Oh, okay.
I think something like that. Ash vs. Evil Dead. Watched the premiere. Good. What else did I watch? I don't have it written down like you guys.
Yeah, you watched a couple other movies I've seen on Facebook. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think I'm just like sharing that on Facebook so you guys will remember for me because I don't I don't write this shit down. Anyways, this is our anthology episode. Dude, I corrected it. And here's our first film.
Here's your...
Welcome to Oldfield. Oldfield has a long history of violence and murder.
It's as though the very foundation of this place was human suffering.
I'm too old for nightmares.
One thing I've learned, my dear, is that one is never too old for nightmares.
Alright, the first movie we're doing is From a Whisper to a Scream. It stars Vincent Price, who just needs no introduction. Man's fucking awesome. Clu Gulager, or I'm not sure how you pronounce that.
Sarandon.
Yeah, Sarandon. But it's he's from Return of the Living Dead and Feast.
And Nightmare on Elm Street.
Feast 1 and 3.
Oh yeah, he was in part 2. Cameron Mitchell, who the only thing I noticed that I had to write down was he was from Night Train to Terror, which I thought that was pretty funny. I guess he played one of the lieutenants in the Claire segment.
I didn't see it. I mean, I don't know.
Then Terry Kaiser, who played Weekend at Bernie's 1 and 2, and Friday the 13th Part 7. And then
he's Bernie Lomax.
Yes, he is. And then Susan Tyrell, who played in Crybaby. Director was Jeff Burr.
He directed Leatherface.
He directed that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess this was his first directorial debut, and I'm going to give the trivia out now, but he was a new filmmaker and had approached Vincent Price, and Vincent Price was so impressed by this that he agreed to be in the movie.
Yeah, and then it's funny that they film it, and then Vincent Price wrote a letter to someone saying that he felt trapped and he wants his name not attached to this film.
Yeah, because he was not, I guess, not too thrilled with how the movie was. Because I know Vincent Price was not really all about, like,
it wasn't
super violent.
Yeah, it wasn't super gory and bloody and stuff. I mean, he's a horror guy, but it was...
Yeah, most of his stuff
more
is
tasteful.
really tame. And
Yeah.
Although, Theater of Blood is pretty violent.
Which is, that's on the double DVD that I had to buy to watch this, so I haven't watched that yet.
I say that's what I need to watch, but I think we might be doing that in the future. Alright, but yeah, the movie starts off with the wraparound segment, where it's a woman gets a lethal injection.
The warden in the prison is the guy from Reservoir Dogs.
Oh,
yeah, Lawrence Tierney.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then it goes to the other main woman from the wraparound segment named Beth, who I believe is a reporter who shows up to the library.
Yeah, she's been following the murder of the daughter.
Yep, trying to get more background story. Because she was even there at the lethal injection.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then she goes to the library to talk to Vincent Price about his daughter, who was the woman that got killed. Was it? Okay, it was his niece. And then she was the one that got the lethal injection. He hands her a journal, and then it cuts, basically explaining the stories of Oldfield.
The entire movie.
The whole town is fucked.
Yeah, the entire movie is Vincent Price explaining these
These
legends.
Town is fucked.
Yeah. What do we call it?
The wraparound?
No, we called it something else earlier.
Oh, the
framing device.
The frame.
The framing story. Yeah.
Then it cuts to the very first story. And the first story stars Clu Gulager.
Sarandon.
God damn it, Randy.
This is a savage version of Clue.
This is his best performance.
He was it's his best Matthew Modine impression, and but he didn't even want. He came into Return of the Living Dead not wanting to do something that savage, because before he's just been a Western guy in bit parts in horror movies, but never. But this is like his coming out fucking.
I think it's his best role.
Yeah,
it's his best performance anyway. Yeah, that's he plays this part really well.
Yep, he wakes up, he's dreaming, and in the dream he's going up to a woman who is, I think, hung by a noose and bleeding from the stomach, and he kind of puts his face between her legs, and then he wakes up from the dream.
Yeah, she's on a meat hook in the basement.
Oh, that's what it was.
And he wakes up screaming.
Yep, wakes up screaming. Then when he wakes up screaming, he sees that same woman dead laying next to him in bed.
Yeah, their flesh peeling off.
And then he wakes up, then you realize that was a dream within a dream type deal, so he wakes up again, and then he...
That's a spoiler.
Well...
No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, I don't see how that is, but...
You're a spoiler. I'm going to attach you to the back of my car.
Yeah, and you find out
it's
his
a spoiler
name
for the one scene, though. You just told everyone that he was dreaming that whole thing. Whatever.
It's a short story, they'll catch it real quick. But, you find out his name's Stanley, and it shows that he is taking care of his sister, who is really ill.
Invalid sister.
And yet
I did not realize that it was a sister.
I thought it was his
the
wife
content.
at first.
I didn't catch it that it was a sister.
Oh, that's part of what makes this story so fucked up.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he's like giving her an ice bath, rubbing her back and everything like that.
She's obvious. I think she's in love with him.
Kind of interesting that Subconscious Cruelty also has a weird brother-sister story in it, too.
Then he just ends up giving his coworker Grace a call and sets up a date, and they go out, and he's talking to her, but he starts hallucinating blood pouring out of her mouth at the dinner scene. He goes to take her home, and he forces himself upon her, and when she refuses him, he chokes her to death, and then he goes and...
Well, she asked him to take her home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because she was not enjoying the date. She didn't seem like she was interested whatsoever.
It's funny that he goes to her funeral.
Yep, out there
goes
goes
up
to
to the casket with the champagne.
Yeah, and it looks like he might have, like, fucked the corpse.
There's no might have. He definitely fucked the corpse. If you watch this whole...
I mean, like, they didn't show up, but that's what I assumed.
He had a friend that was a corpse fucker, and he said, like, okay, never mind.
He's really romantic about it, though. I mean, he makes a toast, and he kisses her...
I'm just saying he can make you believe that he wasn't fucking a corpse if you found him.
He kisses her corpse.
Because he was obviously fucking a corpse.
Brings the bottle of champagne. It's pretty obvious that he's fucking the corpse, because then it cuts to 9 months later.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I forgot that part.
His sister needs another ice bath again. She wore makeup for Stanley this time.
Yep, she gets all prettied up for him.
Fuck that weird ice pick.
Yeah, he keeps staring down at the ice pick and ends up just fucking stabbing her. And then,
he goes to the graveyard.
Yep, goes to the graveyard. And, as he's leaving, you see a hand shoot up from the grave. And then, while he's in his house, just kind of sitting there, he hears glass break, so something's breaking into his house. And then that's when you get the, like, first glimpse of the weird baby demon.
Demon baby.
That bites him on the hand.
Daddy!
I was going to say, then, yeah, the baby throws the sister down the stairs. And that's when you hear the creature call him Daddy.
Yeah, that's how you know that he fucked the corpse.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I'm going, like I said, it's been a couple weeks. I'm going through this note for note, and you know how I write my notes.
Well, like, you know, at the graveyard scene, when the hand comes out of the grave, at first you think that it's probably
Grace.
Yeah, the woman that he's killed, but it takes a rather dark turn, like far darker than you expected to. So yeah, necrophilia, revenge from beyond the grave, demon baby.
Yeah, I gave that segment a 9.
I was going to give it about a 8.5 or a 9, so I'll go 9.
Out of all 3 movies, that's tied with another segment. Was my favorite, so. Next segment.
And then, then it goes back to the wraparound where Vincent Price tells another story about the... Oh, shit, yeah. Randy, what'd you give it?
Well, I mean, that's my second favorite segment in the anthology. But I'd give it like an...
I think I know what your first would be then.
I'm thinking the final one.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8.
For Clue alone,
though.
just to do that.
Yeah, I mean it's a really good, creepy, fucking perverse story and a great performance. But I don't know, the fourth one I like better.
All right. Well, you're supposed to wait on which one you like better, but that's fine.
You both should just shut up.
Then it goes back to the framing device. It's Vincent Price telling her another story about the history of the town, and then it cuts to the next story, in which it's a woman leaves her mom, Jesse and leaves her man. Sorry, my notes are all screwed up.
Start over.
Yeah, the cheating couple.
Yep, cheating couple. She goes and says she's leaving her boyfriend Jesse, and that she ratted him out to the McCoy brothers. It starts off with a chase scene where they end up shooting him and think he's dead. But
no, that's not what I was talking about. I was like the story that she tells, that Vincent Price tells that woman between the segments is about a couple that's cheating, and like that the husband finds him and kills him and buries him beneath the library.
Oh, okay, I didn't. Then it goes into the next story.
Yeah, Bernie Lomax gets woken up by a woman who's betrayed him to the guys that
he just robbed.
Yeah, that he's robbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they chase him and they shoot him and kill him, or so they think. He crawls into a boat and passes out.
In the bayou.
Yep, out in the bayou. And he wakes up inside an old shack with this old black man who just...
I like the nightmare, the nightmare that he has about the hands.
Oh,
like,
yeah.